Disfruta 20 minutos.
Buongiorno. I'm very happy to be here, and sorry, my Spanish is not good enough to have a speech. The basic idea today is to discuss with you how difficult it is to sell our job to the top management in a company, so to have enough fund to our projects, basically. And I will try to describe this problem while speaking about how important are data in the financial industries for banking insurance system, but the idea behind is that what I will tell you works in any big company with data and problem related to data. And I will also try to propose you a different way to, again, to sell our work to the top management of the company. Because the problem is that they own the money, so we need them. Well, Michele, the presentation that I will leave you in Spanish. As I told you, my Spanish isn't that good, so could be some mistakes. Anyway, I've been working most of my life in the banking system. I've been also in the army, working in the NATO alliance, but I cannot speak about that, of course. And I've been a trader in the stock market, and then a risk manager, and finally I become a data officer. Working all the life in industry that needed a lot of data, but I was lucky because I had the chance to work with people that could really understand the importance of having data, good data, well managed. Just imagine if in the stock market you would not manage correctly the data, the prices would be something like Lehman. So in that kind of industry, you don't have to discuss with people if you need money to buy a new system, a new DB, to build up a data lake, to have a new policy, because they understand that there are real money connected to what you're doing, and this is important. When you are a risk manager, you keep writing algorithms. So you understand that your formula will not work if data are not correct, and therefore you will put money on it because, as we have said today, what if bad data comes in, bad data comes out. We say it in different way, but I believe that everybody knows exactly what I mean. So there are the idea behind is that there is a lot of people trying to say that we have to do very complicated things. In the real world, the problems are much easier. You need to do things well with discipline and care about details. And nobody can manage the data of a company alone. The other people with you. You need collaboration. You need a lot of these things that are easily understandable, but not so easy to put in place in the real world. Well, there are, as I said, have been written books on how you manage data quality. All the data management started from a data quality issue. Uran has written an interesting theory. I suggest you, if you had time, to take a look to it. But basically, what happens is that you have a problem, you start to amend this thing, you fix it, and then starts a new cycle with a new problem, you amend it and fix it, and go ahead. Or basically, what happens is that data quality in the Deming cycle tries to improve the quality of your information. Again, a lot of people have been reading a lot of books on this. The problem is that very few people have been able to implement this stuff in the real world. Okay. A table just crashed. Okay, let's speak about what really counts in a bank. Well, you will think that in a bank, what is important is to have a lot of clients, of course, to have a lot of money, of course. But it's an industry like the other. So what you need is to make money out of all this. And since the problem is that everybody is saying all around the world that banks, insurance, and all these companies are stealing money to their client, one of the things that you can do is to work to lower the cost, to reduce the industrial cost of your product, and to offer a better service to your clients. To do this, basically you need two specific kind of tools. One tool are the people working in the company, and another tool is the capital, because you cannot do this without being capital intensive. To run an insurance, to run a bank, you need a lot of money on yourself, because otherwise the money of your client will be under risk. And this is not what you want. Now I will try to tell you a little bit about what we did in Europe. We did as large bank around the world. Consider that the bank where I've been working had over 6 million clients, managed more than 200 billion euros, and we had information about 30 million of individual, which means that one half of the Italian population had in some way managed to get in touch with the place where I was. Most of us has heard about Basel, but the idea is when the financial industry has had the experience of the crash from Lehman Brothers and all the things, but before that it was Enron. You probably don't remember, but was even bigger as a crash, because Enron was also trading oil, not just derivatives. All the industry has understood that there was a problem because the authority, the central banks, the government, the treasuries in the various countries didn't really understand how this entity, banking, insurance, asset management, all these were running their business. And so they started to put in place different rules to manage the capital, because as we said, in a bank are important the people, it's important capital, it's less important the technology. I mean, we are all speaking about technology here, but the technology is becoming a commodity. You can, the real problem is that you keep buying technology, you don't use well this technology that we've been buying. And if something doesn't work, somebody will show up and say, we got to buy a new system, we got to buy a new database. Use the one that you have bought 2 years ago in a decent way, and you see that probably will work. So what is happened? It's interesting because the central bank defined some standard rule that were good for everybody, but one size fits all doesn't work. I eat a lot, much more than I don't know, my daughter. So if you put the same things in these two plates, for me it's not enough. For my daughter, it's too much. The idea is that one size fits all was a starting point, and this starting point did not need good data or accuracy. Because they were standard data equal for every company. Then they understood that, well, large companies started to say, hey, I have not enough food. You're asking me to do things that are not suitable for my size. And so they started to change the rule. And we started with Basel II, where we said, okay, the central bank said, and the governments say, okay, since you have a lot of money, you have a lot of scientists, you have been hiring a lot of smart people, and you say that you know very well your data, and you manage your data in the correct way while we are not good enough, okay, please propose us your internal model, and we will check it for evaluating how good it is. Well, in the end, after 10 years, the larger bank had proposed the internal model, and the central bank and the government and said, okay, that's fine, but please amend this. To the other bank, oh, yours is fine too, but please amend this. In the end, all these models, in terms of mathematics, were the same. So the central bank moved towards a standard model that is, even if wasn't standard, was standard in terms of mathematics. But if the mathematics is the same, if the engine stays the same, what changes is the gasoline, so are the data. And this is what happened. The central bank realized that there was an issue with the data, and because, of course, if you can, not all the data are just black and white. There is a lot of gray in the middle, and the gray that you choose makes a big difference when you speak about money. And if you choose a gray that looks a little bit more white, you could save billions, not millions, billions. And you could make a lot of income just managing the great scale of your numbers. So when the authority have understood this, they've started to say that, well, but then please, you have to provide us with a data lineage stream. You have to do data quality. You have to do, you need to have data owner. You need to do all this stuff. And this is the problem, because nobody is really interested in a company like that to spend money to be a data owner. I mean, was a colleague speaking about data mesh. Data mesh, it's one of the interesting things that we have in this industry. It's a hub and spoke organization where you have an hub that makes the rules and a spoke that should do the dirty work. But the problem is that the spoke has main topic the idea that has to make money selling product, not checking the data quality. And when you speak with somebody that has to do this, when you go to the marketing department, say, hey, marketing department, your data are not good, he will tell you, okay, take a number. Perhaps in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I will take in consideration your instance. And this is why now they have decided to go back to standard model, basically, or at least what the central bank have said is, I don't care about your mathematics. Your mathematics can tell that the right capital is 10 million, but according to my formula, you cannot use less than 15. So if your mathematics say 10, the minimum, the floor is 15. That's it. And you will also have to explain me how come you do not have 15 by yourself. So everybody will have 15, moving the grayscale, and that's it. But the problem, well, the idea is that you have to be able to calculate your risk-weight asset. It's a long formula. You'll have chances to read the presentation, so I will go straight. But the problem is when I've been one of the chief in a large bank, I mean, with a lot of people coming asking me for money, saying we should do this, we should do that. And I had my priority, and my budget wasn't huge. It was a small budget, even if this bank was huge. My answer was, let me understand. And most of the time, the people, particularly people from the IT department, were telling me things that I didn't understand. They were boring me. I mean, we have checked the accuracy level. It's 72%. My question was, so what? Who cares? The timeless is not exactly the one we should have. The data are coming 2 minutes late. Well, and then, so the problem is that I could, even if I was a data officer, even if I had been working in all my life in an environment where the latency of millisecond made a difference, I just couldn't understand why they were mad. So the problem is that then in a company we are full of Excel spreadsheet. There is shadow AI, shadow software, all this shadow whatever that makes difficult to run the company. But I will skip because you have the possibility to lead. The problem is that, I mean, we have to change the language that we use with the business. The big problem that we have and that we face, and trust me, I've been traveling the world and discussing this kind of issue more or less in every country, in Europe, in the States, in Asia, in Latin America, and I've been also in Africa. And by the way, there are a couple of countries in Africa that are top player. They're very, very good, unbelievably good in doing this because they have no latency, no legacy. So they're starting now, and they are starting well. And but the problem is we had to change the way we speak. We had to try to understand one basic idea. Not all the data counts the same in a company. We have to understand which are the critical data. We have to understand why these data are critical and try to speak with the business, with them, speaking about their criticity. I mean, so basically, we could speak about accuracy. We could speak about completeness, consistency, validity, and timelessness, what we have on our technical report. But if we go to the business, say, okay, accuracy, the idea of accuracy is the confidence in your decision. The confidence that you can have in your decision is 70%. Why? Because, and this is the impact. Now, I understand that it's difficult to do this kind of job when you are on the IT side, because from your point of view, the business is a commodity. I mean, who cares? I have to run a database. If it's human resources, securities, or credit, it's just a database. But the people that use the database are not the same. And some of them have a lot of money that can help us to make our business better. So the idea is we have to change the way we speak. And probably mixed team where there are some IT people and some business people, then try to manage to speak the same language is the solution that I have seen around and that I've used myself that are giving me the better results. Even if, as we have said, as soon as you have fixed the problem, a new problem is coming, because data governance is forever. It's not a project that start and ends. But as long as you have the company, as long as you have data, you have to manage this stuff. One small thing, and then I am over. Nowadays, everybody speaks about artificial intelligence. All the big boss any company around probably going to play golf with some of the partner in a big, large consultant company has been impressed by the idea that with artificial intelligence you can make a lot of money. That artificial intelligence will solve all your problems. That with artificial intelligence, you will not need people in your company. That artificial intelligence works 7 days a week, 24 hours every day. That's not true. I mean, not now, and not for the next 10 or 20 years at least. And if we do not fix the data, would never be so. So probably there is a point in not fixing data. But anyway, but we can use artificial intelligence to do things like this right now with good results, because company like mine, 500 years old, had a lot of legacy. If you revise the software with people, you cannot make it. Using systems like large language model, it works. They can catalog information probably faster and better than people. But one thing interesting is that they can create the information that you're missing. This is something that we have been discussing a lot. I mean, people that have nothing to do and discuss about this thing. It's better in an algorithm to have a missing data or a data that is more or less the right one, that looks like the right, but it's not exactly the right one. Compliance people will tell you that, no, it's missing three signatures, you cannot use this data. But at the end, probably it's better if you try to guess it, because a data that you have been guessing, it's better than a data missing. And moving from an analogic world to a digital world, what we have is that the data model that we are using for a credit line, for instance, has been the same in the last 20 years. But 20 years ago, what we had is what you needed to have to pay a credit was who are you, how much you want, which are where is your home. And then there were other 300 information that you didn't need. Today's algorithmic system are using the information that you didn't get 20 years ago. And if you want to have this information now, you cannot just go back and read papers. You have to guess it in some way. So artificial intelligence can help a lot in this. In the real world, this can help us. Conclusion, it's a tough job. It's a tough job, and if we have to be honest with ourselves. There is not a rule or a solution that works with everybody. Every company has to find its own way, but without cooperation of the various departments, you cannot make it. And one of the things interesting is that cooperation across the industry is important, because a lot of the things that we do in the industries are not competition, and so we can manage together the way we solve some kind of problems. That's it. Grazie.